What options does the House of Commons have when they're voting on the newly negotiated deal on Saturday? That's what I want to talk about in this video, so let's get started. Hi, I'm Mark, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Brexit video. The EU summit is over. Boris Johnson got a new deal, kinda new deal. Most of it is still Theresa May's withdrawal agreement, but still. This deal will get into the House of Commons on the first Saturday session since the Falkland Wars. But what options does the House of Commons have to deal with this deal? There are several possible ways they might deal with that. The first option is they agree to this treaty. Then they will have to see that they can legislate it very quickly, but within 2 weeks before the 31st of October, so Great Britain can leave the EU with this new treaty on the 31st of October. The chances for this are slim. The DUP stated they won't vote for this deal. We knew already Labour, SNP, Lib Dems, many independent, some of the Rebel Alliance won't vote for this either. So Boris Johnson is depending on some Labour MPs to vote for it, but if you look on the probabilities, there is only a slim chance for Boris Johnson to get this new treaty through the House of Commons. The second option is the House of Commons agrees to leave the EU without any deal. That will probably something the ERG would like more than this deal, although Jacob Rees-Mogg said that he will vote for this deal. Some of the so-called Rebel Alliance will vote for this deal, like Sir Oliver Letwin, who said he will vote on any deal before they leave without a deal. But to be honest, no deal has even smaller chance to get through Parliament than the new treaty. Then there's the option that Parliament doesn't agree to anything. And despite what everybody thought after what Jean-Claude Juncker said yesterday about there is no extension, I explained this in my last video, this just would mean that the Ban Act would be set in motion. That would mean Boris Johnson would have to write the letter to ask the EU for an extension. And after what Angela Merkel said, what Donald Tusk said, it's quite probable that that would work out. They would get an extension to hold a second referendum, to hold a general election, like Jeremy Corbyn wants it, whatever. Another option that is discussed is they might amend the motion about the new treaty and add a second referendum to it. Depending on the way how they do it, this is a really risky attempt if they really would try to do that. Because if they miss anything, this would just lead to a no deal on the 31st of October. Because if they just voted for a second referendum there and amend this bill, there wouldn't be any immediate legislation on this. And if then Boris Johnson, because they have voted on a deal, will not write a letter to the EU to ask for an extension, this might end up with no deal Brexit on the 31st of October. So this is a very dangerous game if they try to play that one. Then, of course, there's always the possibility of a vote of no confidence, even if Jeremy Corbyn wasn't talking about this. And there are two possibilities. If Jeremy Corbyn would bring up a vote of no confidence because he's afraid a deal might be agreed on, and Jeremy Corbyn still wants to be the caretaker Prime Minister, they would just end up with no deal, most probably. Because he wouldn't have the majority to get this. If suddenly he changes his mind and he suggests another caretaker Prime Minister the Lib Dems and the others can agree on, there might suddenly be a new government that will ask for an extension to either hold a general election or a second referendum. Both is not very probable for tomorrow, but it's options they still could choose. Then, of course, Jeremy Corbyn always could agree on a general election. If Boris Johnson sees he doesn't get a majority for his deal and he doesn't want to write the letter, he might once again try to trigger a general election and Jeremy Corbyn might agree on it, but it's most improbable if there is no extension. But if Boris Johnson, in case of Parliament will not vote for his new treaty and will not vote for no deal, he has to write the letter. That might be a point where we can talk about next week. Perhaps next week EU Parliament has to vote on this treaty on Tuesday if UK Parliament hasn't. I don't know if they will, but there might be a chance that by Tuesday they have an extension and Jeremy Corbyn might want to vote for a general election then. SNP wants to vote for a general election in that case too, so that might work out, but not on Saturday. I don't believe so. And there's still the rumor that government tries to put up a motion tomorrow where Parliament can only vote on the new treaty or no deal without any option to say no to both of them. But I don't know if Jacob Rees-Mogg said something in that direction in Parliament session yesterday, but I don't think that they're going to do that because, first of all, if they try that, the opposition can bring up amendments to do so. This will have to be tabled today, and then amendments can be tabled today as well. And so they will definitely bring up amendments that will change that. And from my experience with the UK Parliament, I don't see how they want to vote on an either-or thing, or even if by amendment a third option is added with their two lobbies. So that they would have to do that in writing then if there's a third option added. But nevertheless, however that will go out with amendments or whatever, I don't think this will end up for a vote. So as you can see, there are many options for tomorrow. If I were a member of the opposition and I don't want this treaty and I don't want a no-deal Brexit, the best thing to do then would just to agree on nothing, because then the Ban Act would get into place. Boris Johnson would have to ask for an extension. We talked about the loopholes. The loopholes that were published are not working, and government already stated at the court that they will obey that and that they will send the letter if necessary. So that would be, from the view of Parliament, be the best choice to do. I just wanted to show you a quick overview of all these options that got up in my mind. I don't know if they find a few more tomorrow, but we all will have to wait and see. But still, I wanted to bring you these options so you can think about it yourself. Perhaps bet on them with your friends, not for money. In the UK you can do this, here in Germany for example you can't, but still you can see who's going to be right. In this gamble that Brexit is at the moment, it's very hard to find the real outcome before. Before I say goodbye, I just want to remind you again that I made an interview with the chief whip of the German Conservatives in the EU Parliament, and his answers also about the free trade agreement that might happen after Brexit, which is now part of the political declaration that will end up in Parliament tomorrow as well, was quite interesting, especially about how long it might take to get a free trade agreement like this. So you might want to watch that if you haven't done so yet. I put it up somewhere in this video in a card, and I will also put it up in the end screen. And tomorrow I've got something very special for you. My steady viewers will remember my series German Politics Explained, and about German politics I've got a very special video tomorrow. I was able to join a member of Parliament, of the State Parliament of North Rhine-Westphalia for a whole day in the State Parliament. I made an interview with her. It's a female MP, it's MP Simone Wendland, and she didn't only give me an interview, she gave me a tour through Parliament. We had access to a lot of things, and we even could accompany a very interesting visitors group from her constituency, which is not the everyday visitors group. So that video will come out tomorrow morning. Please don't miss it, and if you haven't done so yet, please don't miss out on my channel. So you need to subscribe and click the bell and the notifications so you won't miss another Brexit video or special videos like with a member of European Parliament or the member of the State Parliament with a great tour tomorrow. For now, I just thank you for watching again. Have a nice day and see you soon.